Welcome everyone. Good to see you all here today for this workshop with Bravo Studio by Pedro. Really excited to be joined by the Bravo team today to hear more about how you can convert your Figma files into fully functioning mobile apps that you can take into the App Store or Android Store. I know this session is going to be more sort of beginner focused and teach you how to really get started. But I'm sure if there's the demand, we can pick up where we've left off today and look at more sort of in-depth stuff on another workshop. But I think the format is going to be Pedro is just going to introduce what Bravo is, how it got started, and then leap into the workshop before then opening up for some questions. I hope that sounds okay, everyone. Yeah, without further ado, I'll pass it over to Pedro. And good to see you, Jeeves, as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Max, anyway, for having us here. And again, thank you for all the effort you're putting on creating these workshops and everything around 100 days of no code. So yeah, like you mentioned, I really wanted this to be at least very introduction and first phase level kind of presentation, because I think it's really important to settle the fundamentals on how Bravo works, so that hopefully that can help people and makers how to approach when they have an idea, and if they go for Bravo, how to think they should build it. The reason why I want to do that is because a lot of you guys are familiar with a lot of other tools that are actually editors or builders on their own, where you basically build the solution within that same app constantly. You don't work with different tools, which is the case for Bravo. We actually integrate with Figma. So like you explained it very well, Bravo enables anyone to transform a design that is designed in Figma into a fully native app for both iOS and Android. Now, like I said, you concentrate all the visual development, let's say, within Figma, and you will incorporate the specific tags that I will explain more in detail what these are shortly. You will add this to specific frames into your design and then import this design into Bravo Studio, where it is in this specific moment when it actually transforms already into the final product. Final product as in it is already a native app that you will be able to test and even share with other people through with Bravo Vision, which is actually our previewer app. Now, that is the very first step. And then the second step in building with Bravo would be adding complexity or functionality to the mobile app. Of course, there's absolutely or almost nonsense to have an app with a static content, because it wouldn't last very long, unless it's, for example, an events app that it happens for a few days and that's it. But this second phase is where you start adding and connecting, integrating data that comes from a third-party tool. That could be a CMS, like, for example, Salesforce, if you want to go for a very complex system that offers an API where you can connect it with your design, and then start adding that complexity or functionality to the application. We like to imagine or think about Bravo as being the very top layer of the product, which is the actual interface that the end user actually sees and experiences. Everything else in the background or the back end, let's say, lives in other tools. And there is something I always like to mention when it comes to no-code tools, is that I really or personally believe that there is not a single no-code tool that is great on their own. It is only when you connect them to something else, to another tool, that become really great. So when thinking what can you do with Bravo, you also have to think, what other tools do I know that I can connect among each other to generate a very cool solution or end product. So that's the environment I would describe Bravo at this point. So today what I wanted to do is exactly tackle the first phase, but touch a little bit of the second phase, which is integrating with external data. And in this case, because it is very, very simple, I will use a database that lives in an Airtable base, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. So let me just share the screen, and let me see, share screen. Let me know if everything, if it's okay, the screen size, so I will reduce it to the actual window. If you want me to zoom in a little bit, just let me know.
Sure. Yeah, I think it looks good at the moment.
Okay, let me just move zoom to the other screen. Check 1 second. Okay. Perfect. Can you still see the website, right?
Yes. Yeah. The homepage for Bravo. Right. Yeah.
So what we're going to do today, I was testing a little bit. I was planning what I was going to do, and it is this exactly app that we're going to be building from scratch. And I'm also going to be showing you the app itself. You see my phone screen now?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So just to show you what we're going to actually build, I'll show you the end result now. So what I have done here, and this is displaying from an iPhone. You could also connect it to an Android as well. So this is our previewer app. So this first one, Untitled, 100 Days of No Code. This is the app we will be showing. I have added 3 main things in this case for this workshop. So one is a sliding menu, where the home is exactly the home page that you were seeing, where I have added a fixed top bar. And what you see below is actually a web view using a specific web view tag that I will show you in a minute. This comes very convenient when you have content outside in a website you want to inject into a specific page in an app. You can do that by using a web view. Then we're going to be creating a list, which is this workshops list. I have added just some content here. And this content is actually coming from this Airtable. So what you see here is actually integrated to this database over here. So if I would change any content here, it would also change in the app. Then from this list, I will have a detail page for each card, let's say. So let's go to Webflow. There's an image, background, titles, and a short description. The same for N8N, and the same for Bravo. Now, what's especially interesting from this part, or what I'm showing you here.
Pedro, are we meant to be seeing the mobile screen at the moment? Just to clarify.
Sorry, you were, yeah. Yes.
Great.
Do you see it now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, sorry, I was looking at the phone. I don't know if you saw me going to the detail page.
I don't think so.
Okay, so like I mentioned, this card over here will take us to a detail page with content, and the same for Bravo Studio, etc., etc. So what I want you to understand here is that I haven't designed actually all of this. I have only designed one time this initial box and one time a detail page. So if you see in Figma, like I said, I have only designed this box over here and this detail page over here once. Why? Because when you're actually working with Bravo, it's quite intelligent the way it lets you design. Basically, you have to tell the design how you want things to look once you connect to actually real data through the APIs. So once you connect to the real data, if the database has, let's say, 100 more rows or records, in that list I just showed you over here, it will show you the 100 records as well, showing in the specific design that we have created in Figma. So without further ado, let's go and create that from scratch. And because I was just sharing with Max initially before I think everyone connected, I am not a designer myself, not a technical person. I normally manage all what is related to marketing, but I have taught myself slowly how to use, obviously, Bravo Studio, but as well other tools that can help me create solutions or end products. And because of that, and the reason why I say that is that if I'm not a designer, I might find it quite overwhelming to start designing from scratch. So with Figma, which is a super cool design tool that lets you collaborate with other people in real time, you can start using what we call Bravo blocks, which you can find in our website. And basically think of Bravo blocks as UI kits or templates, let's say. Okay, so you would go into Bravo blocks. And this one in particular, you will find it in the Figma community as well. I already have it here in my Figma draft. And basically what you will find inside is a collection of different types of menus, different types of lists, different types of pages and detail pages. It comes really handy when you want to produce a product or an app really, really fast, because you will not start from a blank canvas or from scratch. So for this particular case, like the app I just showed you, I can just copy this frame over here. And I will go to my files and I will create a new app. I just pasted into Figma that menu that I want. Let's name it.
Pedro, just got a question in the chat from Maturi asking, does it support native Figma animations too?
No. So how we have handled the animation, how we're handling at the moment, the API currently is not delivering us the animations. So the animations, we have actually created them ourselves natively, and we add them as Bravo tags, which I will show you in a little bit. For example, the actual sliding menu, it's because of this Bravo tag that I'm showing you here right now. Over here in the frame name, I will go through this particular Bravo tags once we have added a little bit more into the design so that we don't slow down every single step. But basically, we create in Bravo the animations ourselves and add a specific action or instruction. And in this case, the sliding menu, by adding this tag, which is brackets menu slide, this will tell Bravo that this is a sliding menu. So this is to explain everything else that comes to any other action or changes or animations per se. So obviously we don't have all of the animations, but we're adding almost bi-weekly basis new animations into Bravo as well.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. So here we're just gonna leave this here. I'm gonna change quickly this name. So without having to design anything, I already have my sliding menu set over here. Then we're gonna add as well, let's go to the Bravo blocks. Actually, I had it here already. We're going to add page. I'm going to choose, I think it's this one that I had before. Of course, all of these pages that are already pre-made, the point is for you to get started really fast and just have to customize them according to your needs. So I'm gonna paste that page. I just copy it. I'm going to put here workshops. I'm gonna change that to, I'm gonna do that later. This is just an image that is here. And I'm gonna change it to your logo, Max, if you allow me to.
Yeah, that's all good.
I'm just gonna choose this color. Change that, change this to what?
While you're doing that, Pedro, not to sort of get you to multitask, but Maturi asked just a question on, are there any apps that cannot be built on Bravo? So like SaaS apps or fintech, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's quite a general question.
Well, I mean, to answer the space of type of apps that you can build anything. Of course, the limitation will be depending on the functionalities, and the functionalities will depend on those third-party tools that you will connect to Bravo Studio. So it really depends on the workflows. And like, again, think of, for example, if you do apps that require input and output. So if you connect to, again, like a complex system like Salesforce, but it does have a great API integration, you can have your login and password for each user on a custom-made app that you can send. The user could send information from the app that you have built with Bravo into the Salesforce system. And the same way, you can also get information out of your account in Salesforce into this app according to your design. So you can actually make much better custom Salesforce app than the actual Salesforce app that they offer to their clients, which are, I've used it myself, and it's just to go mental with it. So you could create something more custom, but it's very difficult to say what you can build and what you cannot build. It's always case by case. So if you have something in mind, it would be easier for me to say, yes, you can, or no, you can't. But I always like to say there's always a way around doing something to create the MVP of that target or goal that you want to build.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, the reason I ask for limitations is it gives me a sense of what I can expect from a particular application, because me learning the application is one level, and then me running the MVP is another level. So me being prepared about the limitations would actually help me prepare much faster in this thing. That's the reason I asked for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, of course, but like I said, it's the more you would use the tool, the more you will realize that you can do. Myself, I wouldn't be able to tell you how far you can go, because it really depends on the case and what you want to what you want to do. No.
All right. I guess I watched it fully, and I have played with Bravo Studio, but I just wanted to like kind of get a
Sure.
expert's view of it. Yeah.
Of course. So I'm just customizing a little bit what I want to see in the app based on this design that I have here. I don't want to go very far in the customization or functionality. We're just gonna be able to get content from Airtable and display it. And like Max said, we can always go for a more in-depth, complex stuff using custom forms and having to use different CRUD operations in terms of working with APIs into getting information, posting information, deleting information. I think Marta in her, I think it was the To-Do app that she demoed, Max,
yes.
show a little bit about that. I don't know how far in detail she went regarding that. So I'm gonna take this one over here. So I have just customized how I would like this to look. I just need to change this image from here, which I had pre-downloaded earlier. And basically what I'm doing is setting up how I want the app to look in the end. Especially not this first card, but to show or display the data that is in their table just the way I'm displaying it here right now. So I will take this text. I don't want this. This is gonna change. Like I said, I am no designer, and excuse my speed, but normally when you get used to working with Figma, you can do stuff really fast. Okay. Container. Oh, okay. Okay, now we just have to change this as well.
While you're doing that, Pedro, just out of interest, what are the most common use cases for Bravo at the moment you're seeing?
Very, very, very random. At last, there is one interesting user that is building an app to display in real time data related to the currents and waves for surfers, for basically the hotspots all around Spain. So he's created, he's gathered all of the information needed that is connected to third-party tools, where he's getting all the info regarding waves, the moon, and all these type of things that will give the information for when it's a good time to go surfing. And I just got a little bit to test it, and it's so incredible. It's like I said, it looks super complex, but he's made it so easy, and that's what we really like to see. And at the end of the day, what we really want to offer, it is that freedom of design and to make really beautiful apps. Not to compare ourselves with other app builders that are very much around functionality, and they're super awesome tools, but they do offer, in our opinion, some sort of design limitations. And often those apps look very similar to each other, and that's what we really want to differentiate ourselves. So who can benefit the most is designers that are super fast using Figma design or other designs tool, because they're all very similar. But anyone can learn how to use it. And for me, it's not like, okay, what do I build? I think any no-code tool or whatever solution you want to build, you have to spend the most time thinking and defining the problem you want to solve, and then choose the right tool. I will not say Bravo is the right tool for everything. Absolutely not. The right tool will be that one that you think you can solve the problem better and faster. I think that's the whole point of no code, right? So this one, or Bravo in this case, is all about design, but at the same time giving you superpowers when it comes to integrations, because it's very easy. All right, so I have the design almost ready. So let me just, I think just need to change this. Okay. And okay, so now that we have the design ready, we can also create the actual navigation within Bravo Studio. So in Figma, you have this prototyping option over here that will allow us to connect the pages. So for instance, home will be, oh, wait, I forgot one page. Let's go here. And I'm just gonna take advantage of this one. And this will be our home page. And I'm going to delete this. And like I showed you earlier, this will be a web view of your website, Max. So for that, I'm going to add another frame. So one of the fundamentals in designing with Bravo is that everything has to be within a frame, which is this tool over here. And then in here, I'm going to add a rectangle, as it is called like that. And I'm gonna go back to design mode. I'm going to make this white. And over here, I'm gonna use my first Bravo tag. And because I want your website to display over here, I will go to the master list of our Bravo tags, which is in the Learn Center. And as you can see, we're using Notion. And I'm gonna look for that web view. So this is the web view. What it does, it will just display whatever URL you add to that specific frame. So I'm gonna copy paste this example of the Bravo tag. And in the rectangle name, I will add it over here. And because obviously now you can see it's Bravo Studio URL, I will change it to yours. Go back here. Change the URL. That's it. Once we load the app in Bravo Vision, here it will be displaying your website just by adding that. Let's go back to prototype over here and let's connect. So I'm going to connect home to the home page. I'm going to change the name of this page to title page. sorry, list page. And over here is already the title page. So workshops will open this page over here. And one thing I'm gonna change also is the arrow. So I'm gonna delete this one. And another cool thing of Figma, in the end, I'm just promoting Figma here, but it's just super cool. There is a lot of plugins that you can use when you're designing to make you even faster when you design. So there is this plugin called Feather Icons. I use it quite often. And you just have a lot of buttons that are ready-made, and you don't have to be designing them. Just type menu, and it's over here. And I'm going to add it in here. And it's inside the top bar. And this one, the same. Just gonna move it here. And I'll select this box. I'm gonna paste. And because Figma recognizes that this top bar is exactly the same as this one, when I select and paste that same button that I have here, it will place it exactly in the same place. And this one, this arrow, I do want it to come to this page. So let's go back here. This button will open the menu. This one will take me back here. And this one, I wanted to open the menu as well. Another thing I will do very quickly is turn this outline stroke. Okay. From the navigation, I think is pretty much done. And now, one last thing it's important to do before, well, you can do it later, but before I import the project into Bravo Studio, I like to organize the tree of elements and pages over here to be organized. Why? Because when we're doing an API integration, what we're actually doing is mapping design elements with real data elements. So what we're going to be connecting is the image that it displays here with a record or an element that exists in a record of her table, the same as this text over here, this text over here, this text over here. So in order to recognize this information well when we're mapping those elements, you can change those labels over here. So here is the card. So this is, for example, I'm gonna add an asterisk because it helps me identify them later, but you don't necessarily need to do that. I'll just put image here. The text, I'm gonna call it date of the workshop. This I will put tool name. I'm gonna change this to brief description. That's it. And I will do the same for my detail page. So tool name. My image. This is gonna be the same. And long description. I don't know if you have paid attention, but here, this box I have here, it also has a Bravo tag. In this case is the Flexo Bravo tag. So what the Flexo tag does is that if, for example, in that element or record in Airtable, you have a long text, this one will expand according to the length of the text that you actually have inside the Airtable. So this comes in handy when, I don't know, you have long descriptions and everything. You will never know how big you have to design that box. So, but if you expect the possibility of having long text in this box, you just add this flexo tag, and the text box will expand according to what is needed. And all the content that is below will be pushed down accordingly. Okay, I really believe everything is set over here. So I think we're ready to import this project into Bravo Studio. So how we do that is we copy the URL of our Figma file, and we will go to Bravo Studio. I'm already logged in, so I'm already inside Bravo Studio. One thing I like to highlight here is that for this particular case, we're using one of the CRUD operations in terms of API integration, and that is retrieving data, which is a get request. So the get request is a feature of functionality you can do in the free plan of Bravo Studio. So all what I'm doing here, you can easily do it with a free plan from Bravo. Now, I'm going to import the project. So import Figma file. I paste the URL of my project. And it's already in Bravo. Sometimes, and actually it happened earlier when I was testing to do the same case, I got some errors, notifications over here. In this case, the error I had done was that in the web view that I had added this Bravo tag of the web view component at the frame level. So this was wrong. So whenever you do a mistake in placing a specific tag somewhere or a design element not placed correctly within frames, Bravo will tell you that. And the good thing is that it will not tell you just that there is an error. It will give you the link, or it will link you to your Figma file and select specifically where the error exists. So let's go back to Bravo. Now, like I said, the first phase is done. So I'm going to show you the app on the phone in a second. Okay. You all see the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm back in Bravo Vision, and like you can see, there is a new app created. There is no icon because I haven't added to the Figma file just yet, but I will show you that in a second. And let's open it. And there you go. I can see that the web view is working properly. And let's do the sliding menu. It has that bouncing effect a little bit as well. I will go to workshops. I will see what's in my Figma file. If I go inside, you see, I forgot to connect this in my Figma file. So let's go back to the Figma prototype. This box will open the detail page. I will go back to Bravo. I will refresh so that it retrieves the last changes that I have done in my Figma file. Now that is done, I will do the same on the phone itself. So I tap and long hold on the screen and update with Bravo so that we update to this last change. Let's go back, go to workshops. I open that card and it opens the detail page. Perfect. So this is what we're seeing. The data that is here is actually coming from Figma, not from Airtable yet. So now let's go and move to phase 2, which is to connect real data. And we will be connecting, in this case, the list with the cards and also the detail page. The order that you see over here, it doesn't really matter, as you have actually prototype and connect the pages. So how do I bring data from Airtable? First step is to actually create a data collection. A data collection is basically a card of information that you retrieve from an API. And within Bravo, you can create as many data collections as you want. So if you have, if you're creating apps constantly or testing things, you can create a couple of data collections from different APIs. Let's say, for example, you create a data collection that is connected to IMDb to have a list of movies with whatever information you want. So you can test connecting elements to any design really, really fast. So I did it before already, but I'm going to create it right now again. So I will create a new connection. We have the capacity to connect to APIs through a custom API, or you can use this wizard or API wizard that we call with Airtable, which is going to make it even easier and faster to connect your data to your design. So for this, I will go to my Airtable. I will use the sharing link that Airtable is offering me for this specific base. I will copy it. Then I will include as well my key. Back to Bravo. And now what's happening is Bravo is creating this data collection that is connected to this specific database. So everything is fine, it's ready, and we have it over here. So going back to the Airtable, it's really important to also know how to set it up, especially when you create different functionalities using Airtable as a database or backend, where you can change and use the different views of an Airtable. For example, when you want to create a list within the app and you want this list to be sorted or filtered in a certain way, I don't know if you know, but in the URL to place the request of an API, you can change how you want the results to be brought back to you. So if you want them to be, this list to be displayed from A to Z or by time, you could add a new column where you add the date and time, and records will be displaying according to the date and time. So you can maneuver all of these little details, but we should cover that in another workshop. The names, the type of record on each column is really important as well. If you're telling that this is text, but then you add numbers, or if it's supposed to be date and you don't use the native date format, all of these little details are really important to pay attention when we're setting up the database. So let's go back. Wait, what happened here? Let's refresh this and go back to here. So this is the normal view from this data collection I have created. If I would go to the advanced view, then you will see, like I said, the URL. If I press send, I will see all the data that is coming through the API from that specific Airtable. And because I want to be using all of the data that is coming, I'll set it up to all. And just go back here. And also for the detail page. Was it the other one?
Pedro, if I could just jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as he was saying, the cool thing about the API wizard is that it automatically recognizes the record. So he's hitting send and get, but it's not doing anything because it's already bound, with the API.
So let's go back to, thank you, Juan. So let's select, we will connect each page individually. So first we will start with the list, what it will be the list page of the card. So I select that one. I have selected the data collection I just created. And I will also recognize at the bottom over here, there is the frame that it was or is in the design itself as well, which is this one over here. So in Bravo, I will just have to map those design elements with the records from Airtable. So here I will select the, let me just choose records. The image will take the large URL, the brief description that we had done. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, I gotta go back and look at the data library. 1 second, that's I think what I was missing. Okay, let me just take the other one. This will be the list. And I will choose the records, the image, full URL, the description, in this case, a brief description, the tool name, or the workshop name in this case, and the date. We will go back and choose the other page, which is the detail page, and we will do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna read it fast here.
In the detail page, Pedro, you can directly bind the elements without binding the frame.
Yes, so thank you, Juan.
Yeah, no worries.
Image, we'll take the full one, the brief description, and the workshop name.
So that's actually really cool because Bravo recognizes that it's the detail. It could be the detail page associated with the list records, right? So it's great.
I think we're all set, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just gonna update the app, and let's update the phone. And we go to workshops, and there you go. Now we see all the data that is coming from Airtable, and inside each one, I have not connected this element. For example, we can see that the title of the webflow is still Bravo Studio. So let's go back to the detail page. And I just need to put this one over here. That's it. Updates. We will update with Bravo, and I think then we're all set. No. Did I update it properly? must have connected something wrong. I don't know, Juan, if you spotted that.
So the tool title is missing, or what is it? Tool name?
No, this one exactly. Save. But it should be okay here. Now it is okay. Now it's connected.
We're not seeing your.
Yeah, no, I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back.
Ah, okay.
I had not updated it. So these are the details that we just connected, and let's go N8N, and there you go. And that's it.
Bravo.
Amazing. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks so much, Pedro, for that, and Joan for helping out along the way. I'm aware that it's near the hour, so I just wanted to get in one question from Jeeves that he may be able to expand on. But he asked in the chat, does Bravo support audio files basically when making a mindfulness app? And feel free, Jeeves, to just come in and expand on that.
Yeah, so so do you want to expand the question? I mean, if you have more details regarding that, and
I can show you right now. So I built an app in Glide, but like design wise, it's limited, right? Figma is great for design. Can I share a screen real quick in like 2 minutes? I'll show you. All right, cool. Here you go. So this is my app. It's an emotional journals app. So it allows you to track your emotions. So let's say I'm happy because workshop was great. And then boom, I know this day at this time I was happy. And then I have an emotions directory of all my emotions that I can learn more about. And then the meditations and the emotional regulation exercises where you can just click, and then that's it. I'm just working out the user profiles just so every person has their own unique profile whereby they have that. But like design wise, there's only limited things I can do with Glide, right? So I was wondering, can I build this app in Bravo?
Yeah, so let me just check quickly. I'm gonna share with you something. I'm gonna share my screen again. In this case, this. So in Bravo Vision, which you can download from Android, Google Play, or iOS, to look at some sample apps, what can you do? And we show some what type of movements or effects you can add to an app, or in general, which functionalities you can have in Bravo. So if you're seeing my phone screen?
Yes.
So within the Bravo Vision app itself, at the very top, there's this 4 squares. There you can access sample apps that are done with Bravo. And we use the sample apps to kind of show specific functionality. So there's one app called Spotify Music, where we kind of replicated Spotify in a way. And let's check. I choose the first title, and this is how it displays, and it would also play the sound. I don't know if it's, well, the phone is connected to a computer, so you don't hear the sound, but this is how you could actually have your music or those music files playing. So as far as you have those music files in a database, which I guess you do, as a URL or whatever, this is how far you could go in terms of design. And in terms of the functionalities, like you said, a profile, and at each profile to save their own very specific music or whatever, same, you could do that. For the login, in this case, we use Firebase.
Nice. Firebase? Was that Firebase?
Yeah. So I don't know if this answers your question.
No, it does.
So that's where probably Glide offers all of these out-of-the-box functionalities and files and stuff. But to be honest, and correct me if I'm right, I've never used Glide, and I should. But could you do something like this with Glide, what I'm showing you here, in terms of design?
In terms of design, no, I can't do that.
Okay, so
there's limited.
Right. So this is where we're trying to push when it comes to building apps, is to really have no limitation in terms of design and make them look like $1 million.
Literally, yeah. That's what I wanted. That's what I was curious about Bravo, because it's the design capabilities that was unique that I found quite useful.
So
and as long as the functionality is there.
Yeah. So if you would call me to do your app, there is limitations in design because I'm not a designer. If you take Juan, for instance, to do the app for you or to help you out, you can do really, really cool stuff. I mean, he's a designer, so he has those amazing skills that I admire. But I'm gonna show you, for example, Juan worked on this app, which was for an event last month or previous month, which is a film festival in Holland. And in terms of the design, is like, then you can go all crazy.
Yeah, so this actually, so regarding what he said about design limitations, this was an app for a film festival, and this film festival already have their own branding and kind of constraints regarding design and everything. So I was able to replicate that and in putting all into an app. So that's crazy if you actually think of it.
Without being a web app.
Yeah,
which is the thing. You can do a lot of web apps, which you just take the web and that's it. The same way I have embedded the 100 Days of No Code web into the app. One other example when this comes handy is that I was not a designer. I'm not a designer, and during the pandemic, I couldn't get bread from my favorite bakery, and I couldn't reach because it was more than 1 kilometer away, and I couldn't go that far during the lockdown. And they told me that I could order bread through WhatsApp and Instagram, and then they would send me a PayPal link. So just imagine having to manage. They have to manage orders through both Instagram and WhatsApp manually, then send me in the middle of the night or late at night a PayPal link just to pay 18 euro or 20 euro worth of bread for the week. So I just went ahead and created a simple app. Very, in my opinion, is ugly. I made it myself, so I will say so. But I was able to do it really fast. So I embedded a web view of a Typeform that is integrated to Stripe, and the app is taking orders on a daily basis, still today.
Awesome, that's awesome to hear. I need to jump off to another call.
No problem. But any questions that you have regarding that project that you're building, we will be happy to assist you.
Love that. I'll make sure to message you. There's one more question about user profiles, but I need to jump. But thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you.
I think there's one from Maturi around can you make user profiles? I'm guessing that's the integration with Firebase.
Correct.
Cool. Did you need any more information on that, Maturi? Not sure if she's there or not, but okay. Has anyone else got any questions before we wrap up for the Bravo team? Looks like there aren't. Okay. Awesome. Is there anything, guys, before we wrap up that you'd like to share with people here today, but also there's obviously going to be people watching the recording. So anything you'd like to share before we wrap up?
I would say something like Bravo Studio is really great at integrating different no-code tools. So as Pedro explained, you can have Airtable and use it as an API with Bravo Studio. You can also have different no-code tools, or even kind of traditional platforms like he said Stripe or Typeform, or even you could embed your own payment platform in with a web view tag. So you could actually build anything having Bravo as a base. A base ground for all no-code tools, and I find that a game changer actually.
Yeah, that is super cool. Yeah, well, definitely after this, I'm gonna dip my toes into it and get started. Thanks so much for both of your time this afternoon. Really appreciate it, and hopefully, yeah, at some point we can organize a follow-up to sort of see even more stuff that Bravo can do, if you're up for that, Pedro or Juan. But yeah, thanks so much again for your time and everyone coming today. But yeah, hopefully see you on next week's one, and I'm sure I'll see you all on Twitter at some point.
Thank you so much, Max, for having us. I have also shared in the chat the actual Figma file that we used today, so if people can want to have a quick look into it as well. Thank you again for having us.
Of course. Pleasure. Have a good day, and speak soon. Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.